Hey, so I'm trying to be the best tech reviewer, content creator out there that I can be. Of course, that will take time and that will be slightly difficult, but I am trying. And to do that, I need to acknowledge criticisms and comments of all kind and try to improve at every opportunity that I can. And that's the whole point of today's video, because today's video is, well, I'm going to read your YouTube and Hardware Zone forum comments and try to respond to them and try to talk about A, what I think about those criticisms. Number two, talk about if those criticisms are valid, how am I going to improve on them, and how have I been improving on those comments and criticisms as well. So let's go through it. I've kind of read it all and wrote some consensus over here. So number one, general consensus was that missing out PC themes and BizGram was a big mistake because there's very good quality shops that a lot of people do like. I agree. I have had a good experience with PC themes, although BizGram I've never actually shopped at. But yeah, should not have missed out on those shops. Absolutely, that was a big mistake. So that's right. Number two, I spoke too quickly. That is a mistake that I'm constantly trying to fix. So I am using a script and a teleprompter for my in-depth reviews nowadays. Not this video, this is a freestyle, straight from the heart video. So yeah, but I am trying to slow myself down with basically just catching myself. I think the big reason I spoke so fast in that SimLIM video was because I had been making TikToks for a very long period of time. At that point in time, I've been making TikToks every day at that point in time. So what ended up happening was I was just used to making TikToks, and the TikToks you need to speak really fast because you have that time limit. So I think that's the main reason why. Not an excuse, just an explanation. Trying to slow myself down. Now let's move on to the YT comments. So the consensus from the YouTube comments is that, well, some of them are very thankful and appreciative. So to those people, I'm glad I'm able to help. You're welcome. I'm more than happy to do these kind of things. I like investigative journalism. I like trying to expose the truth because I truly believe that as consumers, we need protection, and protection is information and knowledge. In the world of capitalism, it's protecting yourself with information. Knowledge is power. So yeah, to those people that are thankful, I'm more than happy to help. I'll try my best to keep improving. Number two was that a lot of people said that you should research before going. This is absolutely true. You do need to research before going to SimLIM Square. That's my number one advice. If people come to me personally, which you can in Discord or Instagram, but I rather you much ask on a Discord group because the Discord group is way more exciting if you ask questions there. So, and the Discord group is really friendly. Yeah, but you absolutely should research before going to SimLIM Square. I think I did bring that up in my video. I just wanted to show, like, if you were an absolute beginner, absolute newbie, what kind of experience you get in SimLIM Square. Number three, a lot of people were defending shops, actually not just in YouTube, but also Hardware Zone, and I think Lo-Fi, yeah, is the name of another forum, or like even Facebook. There are a lot of people defending the PC shops, and I don't get it. You are a consumer, you are someone who is building PC, you're giving them money, they're not giving you money, so why are you defending them? I get that maybe you bought at a shop, and then I said something that this shop isn't the best, so there's a bit of buyer's remorse, or you just feel like, oh, you want to back up the shop that you supported. But the truth is, why are you defending a PC shop? Why are you defending SimLIM Square shops in general for not having good service? Because that's not what they're for. Because sure, they might not have always been known for good service, but it's not too late for them to have good service because they are a dying breed and they are competing with e-retail, they're competing with Dreamcore, Aftershock. These people with great contacts, great service, great sales centers, like these people who do service really well, and you know, they are losing out a lot of business to these people. So if they are going to get stuck in their ways, they're inevitably just all gonna go, they're all just gonna die, because building PCs is getting smaller and smaller of a niche every single year, as much as we act like it isn't. You know, defending a PC shop and saying, oh, SimLIM Square shops, right? You know, I've always known for not having good not having good service. They're always known for, you know, you need to do your research before you go to SimLIM Square. It's your fault if you don't do research. But this is so dumb of a statement and an idea, because it's like, yeah, sure, that you need to do that, and I do recommend you do research, and I do recommend you don't expect good service, but just because they are not well known for that and you need to prepare yourself for that doesn't mean you shouldn't like avoid going to shops that don't have that. Because we should support the shops that are doing well, the shops that are giving good prices, good service, you know, a good quality buyer's experience, like, let's say, Best Price Computers or PC themes, according to some of my comments. According to some of these shops, you know, they're doing good, so we should support them. And that's the whole point of the video. So why are you defending these shops for not being as good as they should be? You're not on the same side. We're on the same side. You're not on the same side with them, so why are you supporting shops? Either way, I'm rambling too long about this point. You get the point. Why are you supporting PC shops that aren't paying you and you're not making money with? You should just be supporting the consumer and hoping that shops become better and better, because that's kind of their job, which is to compete. Now let's move on to the Hardware Zone comments, and this is where it gets a little bit more harsh and aggressive, and some a bit toxic, which is a bit sad. But the thing is, even the harshest places, you know, sometimes there is valid criticism, so I did go through it and try to glean some learning points through all a little bit of scathing criticisms, some of which are quite invalid. But I'll try to address all of them. So let's talk about the Hardware Zone. So there were 2 threads on Hardware Zone, which is quite funny. 2 people posted on different threads, like my video. One of them was quite okay, quite chill, quite positive, and then the other one was absolutely like, hate this guy. I understand it's the internet, people have their own opinions. Number 1, I might get sued. This one I understand, and this one I do hope doesn't happen to me, that I will have legal letters and I might get sued. But I think that if a shop did sue me for, you know, saying certain things about their shop, then they kind of end up in a worse position than if they don't sue me and, you know, just improve on the criticism, or, you know, respond to the criticism. Because if they end up suing me, it just almost seems like a statement of guilt, and it's just gonna look really, really bad on them to viewers, if my viewers and all the people who watch that video discover that shop sued me. So number 1, there's that. It's not in their interest to sue me. Number 2, I was speaking my opinion, it was a review, so I don't think it's fair to say that I can get sued for that. I was really just talking about, you know, what my experience was. It was all truthful. There's voice recordings to record everything, so I am backed up by evidence. I wasn't floundering and saying, oh, this shop's bad, and I hardly called every shop bad. And even when the shop was not that great, I tried to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt. So, and I hardly even called any shop very, very bad. It was just a title, not good bracket. I think that triggered a lot of people, which was kind of the intent of a clickbaity title, I guess. But, you know, I hardly called any shop very, very bad, and everything I said was truthful, so I don't see a problem in terms of legality. Number 2, a lot of people not a lot of people, but there was 1 or 2 users on Hardware Zone that was like, oh, this guy is noob, he's amateur because this. One of the things that was said was, I judged the PSU based on brand. I think I might have misused the words and tried to make it sound that way, or like I ended up making it sound that way when it comes to like judging the PSUs that I was offered. But I understand that, you know, PSU quality isn't because of brand. It's not the definitive guide, but that not the LEDX, the FSP power supply that was recommended in that particular build, I know is bad because I've read and went to Google to find the reviews about that PSU, and I've actually learned that it's not that very good, which is why I was actually judging against it in the particular video. Not because of its brand, but because that power supply was actually not that great, not that desirable. And we all know from Gigabyte's exploding power supplies that having a good power supply is very, very important in your system. So that was what I was trying to warn against. I might have used the wrong words, so yeah, I might have came out wrong. Next thing was that the whole video was based on an amateur perspective. This adds on to like the point that I'm an amateur. Well, the whole thing is that, well, number 1, I'm not an amateur. I've built many PCs at SimLim Square. I've built at least 20-30 PCs at this point. I've built PCs for 5-6 years. And I do read and try to stay on edge of tech news because I'm trying to stay sharp, right? But, you know, the whole point of the video was an amateur perspective, because if you are a seasoned veteran, if you're someone who's gone to SimLim Square many, many times, then what the hell am you watching my guide for? Like, what's the point of watching a guide if you already know what's there to expect at SimLim Square? That's why I positioned this video targeted at amateurs and beginners, because I've heard from a lot of people in my experience on Discord, or like my viewership, or, you know, just in real life, that they're scared of going to SimLim Square because they're beginners and they're intimidated. So I wanted to shine light on an experience for a beginner and try to give information from a beginner amateur's perspective. And a lot of people say, oh well, you know, you gotta do your research, man. Of course you need to do your research. It's not the viewers, it's not the shop's fault that you didn't do your research. come on. I go back to that point about why are you defending the shop? It's like, we're consumers, we're the ones spending the money, so they should be working harder to try to win our money, especially with other retailers competing with them, getting better and better each day. They should be trying to win more money, and we shouldn't really just like be giving excuses or like trying to support them. We are consumers and we should look at things as such. That's my belief. So yeah, anyway, that's why I don't agree with the amateur perspective being a problem with the video, because if you're not an amateur, you don't need my help. So there's that. The next point that I got from Hardware Zone forums was that I was clout chasing, which kind of hurt, not gonna lie. I know that I need to grow my following, and a large part of the reason I made that video was because I need to grow the following on this channel. I need to grow this channel, and I need to make videos that people want to watch to grow that channel. But this video was also like a thing that I did out of like a genuine interest to find out, you know, these shops at Sim Square, which one could I actually recommend to my viewers. And it was actually like a hard work project. Like a lot of people said that it was clout chasing and there was lack of research because I said one or two things wrong, and then in the comments I tried to fix it by having a bunch of edits and trying to list those edits, and they say, oh, this guy didn't do any research, he's just lazily produced clout chase video because there were mistakes. Number one, everyone makes mistakes, and number two, when you are a one-man band for basically 95% of the production of this video, you are bound to making mistakes, and it's a nightmare. Basically, I burnt my whole weekend. So a bit of context, I'm in NSF, so I only have a couple of hours each week to myself. So basically what ends up happening is that I am having to research, script, edit, shoot, present, upload, you know, plan everything on my own. It's a one-man band. So as much as I wanted this video to be perfect, and as much as I spent as much time scripting and preparing it, I did miss out some problems and I did make some mistakes. Maybe I should have delayed the video 1 week, but I felt that with GPU prices so volatile, the moment I delayed that video by 1 week, like it really took 1 week to make, right? If I delayed that video by another week, well, then the prices I stated in that video would have become even more irrelevant, even more inaccurate, and even more like out of place. So that was why I had to rush that video in a way. So those is why I definitely did research. I definitely did try my best. And to people who say otherwise, well, I can't agree with your statement, and I can just say that you're flat out wrong. Should I have done more research? Could I have done more research? Absolutely. But the video is out, and I think the comment section has a bunch of edits that, you know, show my willingness to accept that I have made mistakes, and I think that comments with all those edits also show that I'm trying my best to be as accurate as possible in that video. You know, some of the edits in there weren't suggested to me by a YouTube commenter, you know, they weren't told to me by someone else. I just went through my video and tried to discover those issues as well. And I think the comments, most people will read the comments, especially if they're genuinely trying to build a PC in Sim Square. So I think they're in a pretty visible place that most people can read. Oh yeah, okay, this is wrong, so let's cancel out from the brain. If you don't read it, then it's kind of on you then, isn't it? Oh, and finally, there is general consensus in the comment section that Full isn't good. So before people come and say, oh, my experience with Full was very good, well, chances are you're either an old regular that they're familiar with, or you spend a lot of money with them, like you have a $3,000, $4,000 budget. Because from what I've heard in the YouTube comment section and from like real life, the people who said Full was a good experience were generally people spending either a lot or were old regulars or both. And then the people who were beginners and newbies when they went to Full generally got dealt a rough hand and rough service. So that seems to be the case here. Either way, that's it for the comments. I hope I covered most of it. I hope I covered most of the general consensus and general criticisms. As for the people at Hardware Zone forums, you know, you're always welcome to come to my YouTube comment section and just comment there. You don't have to comment in your own forums. I'm more than happy to hear your criticisms. I am trying to be open-minded and listen to what everybody has to say about it. You know, I'm putting myself out there anyway, so yeah. Either way though, I hope this video, you know, was something that people enjoyed and it was an interesting discussion. If you have anything else you want to say, tell me in the Discord, tell me in the YouTube comments. I would read them and I'll try to respond to as many of them as I can. And anything valid, you know, I'll try to work on it. And I hope this video was insightful in a way, and you know, show you guys that I am genuinely trying to push my content better and better, because I know my content is not as good as it could be. If and when I get a team, maybe I can get closer to that target of having really good quality content. Yeah, so I guess that's it for this video. Hope that was enjoyable in a way to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye. Oh, and thanks for 9,000 subscribers.